Conor McGregor reveals he's fighting a new surprising opponent in early 2025.
What's your message to Floyd? Conor, do we have a date for the comeback yet?
February 4th, Saudi Arabia.
Who's the opponent?
Former UFC champ and part owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Conor McGregor was in attendance for BKFC on DAZN. After the promotion's successful event on the new platform, McGregor was asked about his return and gave a surprising name.
Excellent show. Final message for all the Conor McGregor fans out there worldwide.
Stay tuned for what's next, baby. We're coming with something big, Riyadh season, yeah? Tell Sheikh Turkey, we were competing against each other as mutual friends on the same night, on the same bat channel, and we took the lead, we took the win. We got more viewers than the other matches and whatnot. But myself and Sheikh Turkey have some mega announcements coming, and boy oh boy have I stacked a card of superstars for you all in Riyadh season, and it's going to be announced really soon.
Really soon,
my man. You really soon. Goats of the game are making that bare knuckle debut, so this is going to blow the socks off people.
Against Mayweather?
Nah, they're muy Mayweather. I'm talking mixed. Some of these matches I have made are going to blow your fucking mind, bro.
Okay,
bare knuckle.
Appreciate that.
Conor say it was going to be you and him Feb 1st, man. Did you see that? You and Conor, February 1st.
Baby, lock it in. No, yeah, I jumped in the ring. We had a few words inside of the ring, but yeah, February 1st works on me in Saudi. Yeah, we'll get that thing squared away.
It looked like, you know what it looked like? It looked like you came down there, you know, you did a great job cornering Oscar, but it also looked like you and Conor kind of connected a little bit, right? Like you guys had a conversation, you kind of got to know you a little bit.
I've been hanging out with some Nickal boys all week, Lee, and we're kindred spirits, as you can say. We get along quite well. I think we're both very similar. There's a lot of similarities there. Yeah, we just spoke in the ring and just... Like, I'm on board, he's on board. We just need to get the UFC on board and we'll get this thing across the line.
What about Conor McGregor? He's backstage over here. What do you make of Conor McGregor? BKFC, Spain? You guys were inside the ring at the same time.
I was outside the ring. They didn't let me in the ring, but to come over here and see it in the flesh, like the amount of the guy's so busy. He's got so businesses coming out of his ears. He's got he's a superstar. If I had that much money in the bank, you wouldn't catch me anywhere near a cage, brother.
Even if it's not Conor McGregor, Dan Hooker did reveal who he'd like to fight next in the octagon.
If there's one man on planet Earth that you would like to fight next, if you were the matchmaker, if you were the one calling the shots, who would it be? Dan the Hangman Hooker.
Just one.
Just one?
Oh, well, if you go, like, I'd probably gone for that BMF title. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And it's not on the line with Max Holloway against Ilia Topuria because it's at 45. The BMF title is not on the line.
Nah, like, it's definitely not. Yeah, I'd like that fight with Max, so that's an exciting fight. But yeah, I'm looking to fight January, March next year. And the UFC's given me some pretty tasty names slide across my desk, so they get me excited. So I'm focused on that.
Tasty names inside the top 5, outside the top 5? Come on.
Oh, we're looking up, brother. We're not looking down.
That's right. We're looking up.
We're looking up.
Do you think that they've assured that you get the victory, that you be fighting for the title next, whoever that opponent may be?
Oh, man, the lightweight division is just stacked, brother. Like, it's all over the show. It could kind of change at any moment. But I feel like with the division having the BMF and the actual title on the line, I'm definitely one fight away from competing for either of those titles.
Terrence Crawford is doing some wrestling training and sends a message to Conor McGregor on Instagram.
We're in here working. Getting back on the mat. Getting back on the mat. Getting back on the mat. Hey, Conor, getting back on the mat. Stay tuned, baby. Stay tuned.
Switching gears, UFC 310 gets 2 title fights, including Belal Muhammad versus Shavkat Rakhmonov.
All right, gang, I'm back with another announcement. Saturday, December 7th, from the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, in the main event, welterweight champion Belal Muhammad takes on the undefeated Shavkat Rakhmonov. Belal is on an 11-fight unbeaten streak, lasting more than 6 years. Belal will be looking to make his first title defense using his elite level wrestling. SHOCKS is undefeated with all 18 of his wins coming by finish. Half of his fights he's won in the very first round. SHOCKS has incredible takedown defense and has spent less than half of 1% of fight time from the bottom position. This will be an incredible matchup of two styles. Will Belal extend his legacy, or will Kazakhstan have their first ever world champion?
It's the fight that needs to happen, and fair play to Belal Muhammad, okay? Anyone that wants to talk shit, you need to stop right now. Listen, the man's a phenomenal wrestler. He put it on Leon Edwards. He picked him up, he spiked him on his head. I don't like saying that. I'm a big fan and an admirer of Leon Edwards. But what Belal Muhammad did in Manchester back in July was phenomenal, and he's turning it around straight away and taking on possibly the toughest test stylistically in the whole of the division for him, okay? So got to give the man his props. Well done to him. So last time we saw Belal, of course, there was talks of him having better hands than Canelo and stuff like that, you know.
Watch Canelo, Marquez, all those guys. Belal has the hands like that right now.
The reality is his boxing has improved significantly. He landed a lot of good shots on Leon Edwards, but that was because of the threat of the takedown as well. The threat of the takedown had Leon looking at him thinking he's going to shoot, he's going to shoot. You obsess over that, and then they start teeing off on you. They start cracking you. You start having success. It's the well-rounded threat. But Shavkat Rakhmonov is taller, he's longer, he's undefeated, and he's beaten some great fighters along the way. Now, the fighters that he has beaten, all right, granted, they're not championship status. The people like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, not an easy man to defeat. Choked him out in the second round. Jeff Neal, again, as tough as they come, choked him out in the third round. Neil Magny, Carlston Harris, Michel Prazeres, and Alex Oliveira. Those are the 6 fights, the 6 wins in the UFC. So, I'm telling you, it's an unpopular opinion. This is a step up in competition for Shavkat Rakhmonov because he has finished everybody. But against Jeff Neal was pushing him to the limit. Jeff Neal was landing big shots. They were having a very competitive fight until the submission came in round 3 at 4 minutes 17. So in the final minute of the fight. And that is something that if I'm Belal Muhammad, you've got to be aware of, okay? The man never stops. He never stops adapting. He will find a way.
You're implying that a group composed entirely of female animals will breed?
No, I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
He finds a way, you know? It's not a surprise or by coincidence or an accident that he's finished all of his opponents. 8 by knockout, 10 by submission. The last 3 were all chokes, a knockout of Carlston Harris, a spinning hook kick and punches. And the man doesn't get tired. He's taller, he's longer, and he's got great takedowns of his arm. So it's a really tough fight for Belal Muhammad. But this is one of those cases. As I say, a lot of people like to shit on Belal. And I don't know why. He's a great guy. He is, right? Was he annoying in campaigning for his title fight? Of course he was. Yeah, of course. He never shut up about it. But he kind of deserved it. And then when he got it, he backed up all the talk. He went out there to Manchester in Leon's backyard and beat him soundly, fair and square. And we haven't heard Leon bitching about it. And well done to Belal Muhammad once again. And I'll tell you, the way that he stepped up and taken on Shavkat, he hasn't dodged it. He hasn't sidestepped. He hasn't called out easier people. He hasn't said that I'm having surgery. You know, the man is like, no, I'm the champion. I believe in myself and I'm going to defend this belt. Now, that remains to be seen whether or not he is successful, right? He has a very good chance. Shavkat has a good chance. But the fact that Belal Muhammad is doing that, let that be an example to every fighter and every champion out there. But still, who do you think wins, Shavkat or Belal?
Ilia Topuria unloads on Muhammad in latest online battle, saying Belal has never finished any man or woman.
Belal versus Shavkat. But Belal, he's a fake champ. He's a fake. I think right now in the welterweight division, the one who will come back and will take the belt again, it's Kamaru Usman, in my opinion. Easy work for Usman.
Muhammad didn't take long to fire back, saying, didn't this dork just buy a fake BMF belt to pose with? He's starting to become the Georgian version of Colby Covington. John Jones adds Dana White's anti-aging coach Gary Brecka to his UFC 309 fight camp. I am so honored and humbled to have spent the day with Gary Brecka and his lovely wife, Jones wrote on a new Instagram post. I can't possibly thank you two enough for spending the whole day at my home helping me with my health and nutrition goals. Your guidance and support means so much to me. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to repay you. I consider you a true and real friend. I'm also feeling so motivated and ready to get a W and to tackle my health journey for the rest of my life.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So how, you think you want to get a fight? How long before you want to get a fight?
Next year, March.
Let's go.
Next year, March.
March is always a big card. So
yeah, next year, March. If
Let's
they go to Miami, I'm gonna somebody up in Miami.
Is it in Miami?
I don't
Potentially?
know.
They're due for another one in Miami,
right?
So,
but if they do, they're gonna have me on that gate.
If they do a Miami card in March, I'll hop on too.
Let's go,
100%. Or anytime in the beginning of the year.
We're gonna fuck it up.
Wow, that'd be crazy,
That'd be crazy, bro.
Oh my gosh, that'd be.
Who
so
you want next after this?
You know, whoever really. I talk with Mike and Dan and the coaches and stuff, and I'm like this is a good step up with Paul Craig and stuff. So take care of business, and then I want to do like 2 more guys that are unranked, then fight a ranked guy. So at that point, I'll be 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, fight a ranked guy, 10-0, 11-0, probably fight a top 5 guy, and then fight for the belt around 12-0. That's like what I'm planning on right now. So we'll see, but definitely zoom focus on this next fight. I haven't even really like talked a lot of names, but there's so much that can happen in MMA. Like who wins, who loses.
Yeah,
there's
so
a bunch
much
of
the
fights.
landscape changes overnight.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna smash this guy, and then we'll see what's in. I want to get like exciting fights now, though. I feel like I fought enough guys that have kind of not really been very dangerous to me. Like I haven't even been hit really in a real fight yet. So I want to start fighting better guys for sure. And then once I get a ranked fight, I think I'm only gonna have to fight maybe 2 or 3 for the belt. So at that point, it's like.
Yeah,
straight to it.
Off to the races once you get the ranking.
Yeah.
I think after this fight, you'd already be ready for a ranked fighter.
Yeah.
After this one,
I think so.
This is gonna be a good fight. Like you said, he's got a lot of experience. Not a bad athlete. Definitely has a lot more experience than you. Mm-hmm. But obviously, my money's on Bo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been talking about Bo since the beginning, man.
I know, bro. And, you were like the first guy that was in MMA that was like, yo. That was supporting me. So
I think skill wise already where you're at and what you know, really what you bring, especially in the department of like that insane pace that you could push when you want to push it. Just based on that alone, I know you're in the top 10 already. But after this fight, this experience will make sure that you're like a ranked fighter.
Yeah.
I would like after this one you could get a ranked guy and do the bow thing to him, bro.
For sure, bro. Everything's getting better. My jiu-jitsu is like getting really good. Good, and then the striking is catching up,
And that's the thing where I think you're getting even scarier because now when you take a guy down, you're like recovering, but you're still advancing position. I see you're not breathing, you're not struggling, you're chilling.
For sure.
You get to a good position now, you're breathing even more, but you're in the good position, you're still landing damage, and now boom, submissions,
Yep.
You're gonna end up being like a real fucking problem with the submissions for everybody, bro.
Yeah. I feel like the submissions come pretty natural to me. It's like getting a pin in wrestling. That's like kind of how I equate it. But you're
that type of wrestler. You're a fucking pinner.
Always going.
So that's why that the ground transition makes more sense for you.
It does. Yeah. It
than
makes
just an
sense.
explosive guy that just gets takedowns and then with cut guys, they might have more to struggle to
and
get
I think
there.
as I spend more and more time, striking and grappling, they're so different.
Yeah.
But like as I spend more time with the striking, getting to work with you, I got to. I've been working a lot with like Pitbull and some of these guys, and it's like, dude, it helps. It's a little slower progression. Like the jiu-jitsu was really relatively easy to figure out. From I'm still learning, but the striking, like as I'm putting more and more time in, like I'm really enjoying it. It's so fun. Yeah. Like especially like you were saying, like the boxing. Boxing is like it's so fun. All the little tips and tricks and
how to generate the power.
Yeah.
And be as efficient as possible.
For sure. No, it's good though. It's fun stuff, bro. I can't wait to see you back in there, man.
Yeah.
Anybody you got? Who are some guys that you think could be potential matchups?
Shit, man. Let me see here. I don't even know, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know yet.
Yeah.
But one of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna get it.
Somebody's gonna get it. You know. I'll see what the number sign attached to the head looks like. And that usually makes my decision a lot easier. You know? And how much you gonna pay me to kill this guy? Okay, that's it.
No problem.
Let's go.
Contract killer.
Contract killer. That's it. Hired gun, man.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's great.
And it's just our people.
Yeah.
How did that time off treat you? Your body, your mind?
Oh, from the boxing?
Retirement to boxing.
Oh my gosh, wonders. And nobody's gonna understand it better than you guys. Like wrestling is rough. You know?
Yeah.
Not okay, so you go Monday morning to wrestling practice, then afternoon I'll do like conditioning and I'll do the pads, and then boom, Tuesday you come spar. Somebody kicked your knee.
Yeah.
And then on the 5th round, somebody went for a leg lock on that same knee. They didn't know, so they're going for a heel hook. And you got out of it, but it almost popped like 2-3 times. No big deal. Then you got to run at night, though. Yeah. Because you're a little heavy, so you got to run 3 to 5 miles at night on that bad knee. It's like that shit doesn't happen in anywhere else but MMA. It's the craziest shit. So boxing was chilling because there's a lot of. Like every day we're gonna do 800 sit-ups, and every day we're gonna jump rope 25 minutes, and every day we're gonna run, So it's kind of like these same things that maybe in the beginning it takes a little bit to get in shape, but once you get it, you just like maintain and doing it. So I wasn't like abusing my body, like getting, kicked on my elbow and then fucking double legged across the room. It's MMA's interesting, man. The beat down you take on your body, but I feel great right now. I've been doing a lot of medical treatments. Exosomes are like the fucking greatest things in the planet, bro. I could vouch for exosomes. The
What
thing, stem cells.
Yeah.
It's like they treat them. They do a process to the stem cells, and then they get exosomes. And for off the top of my head, for a couple of reasons, it's good for like us athletes. When you do stem cells, there's like a chance that your body could reject it, so you have a fever. With exosomes, I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me. I forget why you don't get like fevers or a lot of these things. It's a little bit better for your body to absorb,
Right.
So it absorbs it in a little bit faster time, and it does the same thing. It promotes some rejuvenation.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's good. I'm definitely get that. Like, just from wrestling my whole life, but now like MMA, it's the worst, bro. Getting like kicked in the freaking leg, and then catch a elbow or catch a knock heads with somebody or something. It's just like always, no matter what, you got bruises, and it's like, why does this even hurt? This doesn't even make sense.
It just lingers.
Yeah.
The shoulder, the neck, the
shoulder.
back.
Yeah. I'm like, why does the back of my shoulder hurt? Like, what is that? I don't even know.
You get like in these scrambles where somebody has your leg and you don't want to give it the takedown. You're like, oh, it doesn't feel that bad on my knee. It doesn't feel that bad.
Right.
And then you finish out the scramble,
like,
you won whatever it is. But then, when you cool down, you're like, what the f happened to my knee, bro? You can't walk. It's crazy, So man, there's nothing more demanding in the world sport-wise than MMA. I could say that, because when you add in the wrestling mixed with the fucking knees to your nose, mixed with people trying to rip your choking out, and then the strength and conditioning we got to do to keep it up, to be able to stay healthy. So, like, in a way, time away from MMA is like getting healthier.
Right. It's well deserved, well needed for sure. Yeah.
Juliana Pena's coach warns Kayla Harrison about underestimating the champ.
Were you impressed with what Kayla did? I know Juliana said like at the post-fight press conference, she's like, I didn't really get to see it. I was warming up, but like my team wasn't impressed with her fight. Were you part of that group she was referring to, or were you busy with her and not watching that fight?
No, I mean, I can't say that we weren't impressed, right? I mean, she's a great fighter. I mean, she's very good in certain areas, and it's nothing that we had that the world hasn't seen. It's nothing. I mean, we can't come on top of. It's. I mean, she's good. Yeah, don't take me wrong. Juliana's good too. I mean, Juliana, until you get her in front of you, you realize how good she is. And I mean, I think that's what makes it very interesting. I mean, whenever Harrison sees Juliana in front, she's going to be like, "Oh my God, this girl's way better than what I think so," and she's going to be in tons of trouble. And that's what it is, that's what makes fight so interesting. And I mean, all the respect to her and her team, and never disrespect to her and her team. But I mean, I just can't wait, man. So they sign a contract, whichever of the other two fights is, and we'll go to work and get back into it.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple times, like when they're standing across from her, they realize it's something different. What do you think it is about Juliana, or whatever the perception is, that people do seem to think that she's maybe an easier target than she clearly shows herself to be in the cage, and that they get what you've alluded to there when they're standing in front of her? It's different than how people perceive it. Why do they think of her that certain way coming into the fight? What's your take on that?
I mean, dude, the thing is, they're willing to go so deep, man. They're willing to go so deep. They're once you go in there and then you're grab someone and you like, oh man, I'm in it, right? I'm in it tonight with this person. Whatever it is, I'm in it. And I think it's just that feeling that you have somebody across you that it's not just going to fight you with skills and skills and skills and skills, right? I mean, it's going to fight you with a lot of will, too, and an unbreakable will, So that says something, man. I mean, to a person, I think that's what it is, And I have the same thing with Belal. They're unbreakable whenever it comes to that side. You may see him as skills. Okay, they lack here, they lack there. They like, well, okay, that's fine. Okay, until you have him in front of you, you're gonna see how good they are, and then on top of that, just their will to push and to will to go forward, to will then just to have him on top of you. It's or in your face all night. I think that just says a lot about an athlete, and I think that's why they're so fierce and they're so good, both of them. That's why they're world champions, both of them.
If Kamaru Usman doesn't answer the call, then Joaquin Buckley wants all the chaos that Colby Covington brings to the UFC table.
The Kamaru Usman call out, he has since kind of responded, not really, sort of.
Yeah, not at all. I really don't expect him to really kind of push for that fight. I don't really see him trying to push for this fight, just because how difficult the fight might be for him. For me, I'm still working on things, that's true, but I really feel like when it comes to the stand-up, I don't think Usman really has anything for me. And I think my cardio, my pace is definitely going to challenge him, and usually he's the one that's pushing that narrative, like, of his conditioning, but I think I can push my conditioning past Usman at this point in my career.
Has the UFC said anything to you about any of this? Like what they want?
Nah, they haven't. They won't say anything until they're ready to make a go on whatever call they're trying to do.
Did they indicate when that might be? No?
Nothing. I had nothing from the UFC right now. So right now it's just about being patient, capitalizing on the moment. I got my Solid Foundation merch coming out. I got the Utah 307 for sale on my Solid Foundation store. So right now we're just sitting back, promoting, and just, enjoying the time, enjoying the wins.
If Ian Gary ends up fighting Colby Covington, what does that look like?
I don't know. That's a good question, to be honest with you. I feel like, Ian Gary does a smart way of surviving and moving his feet and staying long. But Colby Covington, he's just the inactivity outside of the cage, So I don't know what type of training he's been doing, but that's the thing. I would have to go with the Ian Gary, right now, because he's been active.
Is Colby like? I don't want to be like super disrespectful about it, but is he washed? Like, where is he?
Is he washed? That's a question for him to ask, or answer to. But my thing is, the last fight that he had was against
Leon.
If I'm not mistaken, Leon. Yeah, Leon Edwards. And that was about a year ago now. So time ain't on nobody's side. So if you really want to show the world what you up to and what you've been doing and how you've been working, you got to take a fight. So I'm happy to go find out myself too with Colby Covington if he ain't got nothing lined up.
Oh, that's a fight you'd be okay with.
Oh yeah,
that
I'd
fight.
be definitely willing to take that fight. Yeah.
And that does it all for today's video, but make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release a new video. And in case you missed it, check out yesterday's news.